Agriculture is, and always has been, the most important Indigenous industry in County Roscommon. Sustainable farming practices have been recognised as part of the solution to climate disruption, and farmers in the county are actively engaging with these solutions. Hillside Organic Farm near Taughmaconnell in South Roscommon is a fourth-generation family working farm who uses heritage family practices to best conserve their land for the future.
I've been farming here since 1976, and my family have been farming here, from what I can tell, for at least four. I'm the fourth generation. So we would have a connection, or I would feel a very deep connection to from an ancestral point of view with this land. And I would see myself as the guardian or the caretaker of it at the moment. In my father's time, he would have farmed with horses. It was before machinery came in. It would have come in just at the end of his term in it. In my time then, I would have done all the modern farming, the intensive farming, the high fertiliser, the high stocking rates, everything intensive, pushing numbers, pushing performance. The unease in me got so much that I just couldn't do it anymore. I could see the destruction I was doing to the environment around me, and I just had to do something different. The changes I made initially going into organic production was reducing the numbers, cutting out all fertiliser, using farmyard manure rather than slurry as a fertiliser. I allow what grows here to grow here, and then I let the animals that are there eat that. Here you can see where we're doing a different type of grazing. It's something I've started just this year, and it's something I've been reading about for a few years, or I've been watching on YouTube and that. It's described as regenerative grazing or mob grazing. It's where you let a lot of cattle, or you let all the cattle into a small area of grassland controlled by an electric fence. They eat some of the grass, but a lot of the grass is walked on and trampled on and left behind. So what it will result in is dead grass lying, being trampled into the ground, and then you will have the earthworms and the dung beetles and all the other bacteria and fungi and centipedes and millipedes will come, and they will eat that, and that will create new soil. The modern way of grazing, you grazed it very bare, and you kept it bare all the time, so it was more susceptible to leaching from and erosion from wind and weather. I've started to look at, from once I went into organic, to look at how I can work with the land rather than work against it. So that's an example of what I mean by the way the hedgerows encroach out into the land. I haven't trimmed any of that. They come up, they fall down, they create habitats inside for birds and animals. The cattle can even go in there and shelter in the bad weather and in the fine hot weather. By letting that happen, the benefit to the environment is there's more diversity in the hedgerows. There's more diversity in the life that's living on them, from an insect point of view, from a bird point of view, from a small mammal point of view. And for me, there's the enjoyment of walking out in springtime and smelling the blossoms on the firs, or on the whitethorns, or on the elderberries or whatever, and just seeing that and knowing that the fact that I have in my way contributed to it by not doing, if that makes sense. I'm doing this here on my small piece of land. If everybody around me is not doing something like that or doing the opposite, this is an isolated little pocket. Whereas if more farmers were doing it, all these little pockets would join up. You would have huge corridor areas between the different farms, and it would be much more beneficial to wildlife and to biodiversity in the long term. This is an out farm. It's about a quarter of a mile southeast of the farmyard. The total block is about 30 acres, and I've planted 26 acres of that in native woodland. Well, the future benefits are all the benefits for wildlife, but I would also see it as maybe being a seed bank or a reservoir or a library of seed for maybe humans together, or maybe if humans aren't around, for nature itself to replenish the forest that was here originally. Because these are the species that would have been grown here 300, 400, 500 years ago. And planting this as forestry has been one of the highlights of my life so far. I would say it's probably one of the greatest things I've done. And I'm hoping that in the future, whether it's descendants of mine or whoever it is, will come in here at some stage and enjoy the fact of being able to walk around here and experience this woodland.